You're watching the Battered Fans Network.
Italy, the Herons are back. Welcome everybody to episode number 234 of the Battered Herons podcast. I am your host, Daniel Granada, and alongside me is our first special guest because I am looking for a new co-host because Chris is being a little biatch. It's Mr. Italy Jet. How are you doing, sir?
I mean, it could be better, right? But
Yeah,
I mean,
yes.
like I said, it was going to be a close game till the end. And it was very
was.
exciting. A lot of crappy reffing on both sides, a lot of diving, a lot of babies on one side. So, it's overall, I expected it to be a tight game, but like I said, there's you guys and Suarez. I mean, it was very, very bad for us. But I'm doing good. You doing good? You doing good? I bet you're doing great. I bet you're doing great.
I mean, I would have been better if I would have gone to the game. But I went on Twitter. I asked for tickets. I got them. So shout out to you know what? I don't want to mess up this person's name. So let me make sure I say the correct name. Because it was the first person, Kyle. Kyle was the first person to offer me his tickets. So shout out to you, Kyle. I appreciate it. But then when it came down to it, my wife just wasn't feeling good enough, and I just didn't want to force her to go. So I ended up giving those tickets away. I ended up giving away 12 tickets, and then I had more to give away, but Ticketmaster blocked me and wouldn't allow me to transfer any more tickets out. I don't know if they thought that maybe I was selling them and like getting Cash App and then giving them out or something. I don't know what they exactly thought, but they blocked me from giving it out. But I was trying to get that stadium as I don't want to say as full as possible, but I want to try to get as many people out there as possible. And you know what? Although it wasn't a full stadium, I don't think it looked as bad as I was expecting.
Yo, it was empty. I was shocked.
It was empty, but that's what it used to look like pre-Messi on a weekday. Because it was a weekday game. If that game's on a Saturday, I think more people go.
Yeah.
But
it did. It looked like I was watching a Toronto game. I'm not going to lie. Because Toronto didn't really show up either. Was with some of their home games. I think it's because of the different times Apple Plus has been doing. I think that's what's screwing the fans up, not only in Canada and United States, and I think in Mexico too. So
and Leagues Cup just with a lot of weekday games. So I think that ruins also. But anyway, so usually we start off by going over the starting 11, and obviously I'm going to ask for participation from the chat also. So you guys let us know what you guys were thinking. So starting 11 for Inter Miami. Starting in the back, we had Jordi Alba, David Martinez, Thomas Aviles, and Chelo Egan across the back line. We had Busquets returning to a CDM role. Gressel at left mid, which after last game we were hoping we wouldn't see anymore. But Gressel at left mid, Redondo at right mid, and then up top you had Gomez making his return from the Olympics at left wing, Rojas at right wing, and Luis Suarez at striker. As far as the starting 11, I wasn't surprised with too much. I thought that they might give Bright the start at CDM and just let Busquets come on at half, kind of like they did with the Tigres, only because I felt like Toronto, because we had played them before,
Yeah, I agree with you. Oh, did you? Yeah, you okay?
Yeah, my mic just went out.
Okay. All right.
I did think that Bright might start, but he didn't. But that's it. What did you think about the way the game started while I come over here and start fixing my mic?
I mean, you guys dominated again. I mean, the first, 13, 14 minutes, you guys just came at us. And honestly, I was really surprised O'Neal for us started. I wanted the same lineup as the previous game, and I think we would have gotten at least a little bit more aggressive on defense. But like I said last show, you got to attack our defense. Our defense is poor right now, and even with Larea didn't even look good. So I think you guys started off really well, like you guys usually do, right? You guys usually start off pretty good in the first 20 minutes, and then it kind of gets comfortable?
Actually, well, I mean, it's changed over the last month or two, but to start the season, we would always give up the first goal. It felt like in the first 5-10 minutes. But obviously, it's changed over the last couple of weeks. And today, we should have had 4 goals in the first. What was it? In the first? We scored our second one.
15 minutes. At least first 15, 20 minutes, it should have been 4-0 already.
We scored our second goal in the 11th minute. By then, we had scored with the Matias Rojas. There
Right.
was a horrible pass by Bernaducci or Decci, whatever you pronounce it.
Bernadeschi, chill.
Bernadeschi, okay. And then I think the other was that headed it on to Suarez, and Suarez whiffed on it. And then there was another one that Diego Gomez had a chance at a shot. He went wide, and then he made up for it a couple minutes later. By the first 11 minutes, it could have been 3-4-0. After we scored that second goal, how are you feeling as a Toronto fan after that second goal?
More like, here we go again, right? Like, here we go again against you guys have always beaten us really badly. Like, here we go again. But in Leagues Cup, in any tournament, anything could happen, right? So it was one of those things where I knew we would stay in the game, but after Bernadeschi got off and injured, John Herman did great with our substitutions. I applaud our coach for the substitutions he put on, because they actually did make us better as the game was going on. But after Bernadeschi got down, I did get worried. I did get worried throughout the game, as any Toronto fan should be. But that was where I'm at during that second, third, fourth goal.
After that second goal, I felt like we might win 6-0. Like, it felt like it was that easy the way they were getting down. And I didn't expect that, right? I predicted 3-1. But the way the game started, I was like, this is weird. Like, we're gonna kick this team's ass is how I felt.
Again.
But that first penalty happens. It was on Chelo, which he tried to nutmeg Etienne.
Yeah.
Wasn't able to do it, and then clipped him as he was running by him.
Which is justified. Should have been a penalty already.
Oh, 100%. That was 100% a penalty, and it was a boneheaded foul by him. And then as soon as that penalty goes in, all of a sudden we got a game. But even then, I thought that we were still pretty much in control.
Yeah.
Luis Suarez gets that third goal. Jordi Alba ended up with 4 assists today. And when we take that 3-1 lead, again, it feels like we're in nothing but control. At what point do you start thinking we're still in this game? Was it after they scored that second penalty?
So Insigne did not have a good PK against the Red Bulls in Leagues Cup. So I was holding my breath, because he hasn't been doing very well in that department lately. But he was the difference maker throughout the game, and he was the difference maker taking those. I don't want anybody else taking those penalties after Bernadeschi out. So yeah, I was freaking out, and you have to mark him as much as you can. So yeah, during that point, I was like, oh, we're back in this. Holy crap. Anything could happen in Leagues Cup, right? So that's what I was thinking the whole time.
And in Leagues Cup, Inter Miami at home last year and this year, I think at home they've scored 19 goals. In how many games has it been? It's been like five or six games, 19 goals, and they've allowed, I think it was like 3 or 4. So when you're gonna go watch Inter Miami play Leagues Cup at home, they're scoring goals.
But
I
mean, how have you guys been doing good, like in Leagues Cup at home lately? Even in other tournaments?
We only played. Leagues Cup last year we were undefeated, and then this year we won our only game, which was against Puebla, and we pretty much dominated. But Puebla isn't a very good team. But this was basically the last home game, unless we end up playing a Mexican team in the quarterfinals, or if we play against Colorado somehow in the final. So no more home games for Inter Miami, which is probably a good thing with all the mess with the tickets that went on over the last 24 hours. But, and I'm putting in the link in the chat for anybody that wants to call in. We're going to do it a little different today, since the setup is a little different. So whenever you feel free, you can call in. So then in the 28th minute, we had David Martinez. He got a red for that foul. Now, it was initially, I believe, a yellow, and they were going to give a penalty. When they saw that it was right outside the box, they didn't give the penalty, obviously, but they changed it to a red card. Were you surprised that they changed it from a yellow to a red just because it wasn't in the box?
No, not surprised. I'm not surprised with anything with MLS refs, but I still think he deserved it, though. I mean, even if it didn't look like it was inside the box, definitely looked like it was outside the box, but still definitely deserved. You guys were flying everywhere in that defense, and he was about to score too. You took advantage of trying to get him to not score, and that's what you got to do sometimes when you're even up like that. For me,
I definitely thought it was a smart foul. And then
exactly,
we got James.
It was a foul you guys had to do for me.
And then we went down to 10 men, which ended up changing the game a bit, but we'll get into that in a second. James, what's going on, James?
What's going on, James? Wait, can you hear me?
I can.
Yeah.
You got to lower the volume on whatever it is that you're watching.
I can. Yeah. You got to lower the volume on whatever it is that you're watching. Oh shit! Hold on. Oh wait, can you hear me now?
I can. What's up?
Oh wait, can you hear me now? I can. What's up? Oh.
All right, James. I don't know what you got going there,
I couldn't
James.
hear him. Yeah.
All right, James. I'm gonna try this one more time, James. If not, we're gonna have to have you call back later.
Learning that the defense gave up 2 penalties and then like 1 and then an own goal. 2 penalties and then like 1
James,
and then an own goal.
James, I'm gonna have to let you go because I can't hear with all the sound in the background, man. I'm sorry. It's an echo there because of the noise. But we do have JP here. JP, what's going on, man? How you doing?
I just wanted to call in. I called in late because I'm a minute behind. I joined in the show late, so I watched the show
All
at the
good.
beginning. I've been watching on 2 times speed.
What's up, man?
I've been watching on 2 times speed to catch up. And I wanted to say that I was very worried by the time when I saw Suarez get hit in the head from a free kick. Because Campana, he did good today, but he misses his chances when he misses, like, badly.
Mm-hmm.
And like Aviles had a concussion protocol, and the next game's probably like in 4 or 5 days. I was thinking whether we're gonna miss Suarez, we're gonna miss Martinez. Aviles came out because he looked kind of hurt, so he went down. They took him out. I'm really worried for this Columbus game.
I'm worried about the Columbus game because David Martinez getting that red card. Busquets at center back worries me against Columbus's attack because I think that Busquets is going to end up playing center back, which is good in the aspect that Bright's going to get his spot back at center defensive midfield. But having Busquets back there when you have Cucho and Rossi and all these guys, I think that's definitely reason to worry. I wouldn't worry about Suarez. I think Suarez is going to be fine. But yeah, the defense wasn't looking at its best. But then again, we were down to 10 men. Even though I thought that we held up pretty good with down 10 men, we kept our form. When we went to 10 men, it felt like, at least in the second half, it felt like we went kind of just 4-3-2 instead of 4-3-3. We kind of had the same back line with Busquets instead of David Martinez. Bright came in, CDM. Gomez and Redondo were still flanking left and right mid, and then it was just Suarez and Rojas up top. I thought that defensively we weren't that bad today. I don't know if anybody disagrees with me in the chat, but
I agree with you.
We were down 10 men.
Defensively, we weren't bad, but I've been noticing these last few games of League's Cup. Like, for example, San Jose beat Chivas in penalties, and San Jose is horrible. Chivas is known to be a great club, and they have incredible players.
Correct.
So I'm maybe, praying over here. Kansas City beats Columbus somehow in penalties, and we play them in the round of 16.
You think? So you know what? I kind of want to play Columbus.
No, I would get it out early. Get out early.
Not just that, and obviously this is more personal for me. But if you guys watched us with the Wiseman, Ty Fisher from the Wiseman podcast, the Columbus podcaster, he joins us all the time. He was kind of talking a little shit. He was kind of shitting on Inter Miami today, and I think he thinks that they'll dominate us. Honestly, is what I think he thinks. So I kind of want them now.
If any Columbus fan is talking shit, just tell them about how we won them without Messi, Suarez, Rojas, and we beat them without all our half our teams in Copa America.
Yeah, look, I'm not worried. I want Columbus. Honestly, I want Columbus. But thank JP. We appreciate you taking you calling us, man.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
All right. So, what do you think, as far as Inter Miami versus Columbus?
No, I say get it out of the way. I still think it's going to be a great game overall because Columbus is one of the best. But I think I would want them right now. And then looks like you might guys have like a clear path, a little bit of a clear path because you never know with injuries and stuff. But I would take Columbus on right now. And going back to that game, though, I think you guys made great substitutions to help even when you were down 10 men. And so did we. For us, the lack of conditioning for us, it looked like we were just gassed the whole time. And I think Insigne with the 2 assists, the 2 penalties, he was the guy you had to mark. And with the big tall guy like Prince, and then Mbika, I know you guys had him at one point, right?
Yeah.
So tall mother, dude, holy crap. But we were coming, but the lack of conditioning and the give up, we just didn't give up. But still 4-3 was still shocking, but I still think you guys did fine even with 10 men.
And I want to get into Alba also in a second because he had 4 assists. But before we do, I want to get Anthony on here. What's going on, Anthony? Let me take. Why does it still say James is on the phone? Hold on. What's going on, Anthony?
Hey, fellas, I'm watching you from my vacation in the DR. How are you?
Oh, nice.
Oh, there you go.
Not as good as you.
Yeah.
Honestly, what I've noticed with the Campana lately, I don't know if you guys noticed this. It seems Tata Martino's system is starting to slowly filter him out, where he doesn't really fit as a striker in the system. Is it just me, or am I crazy? Is it just me, or do you guys see that too?
I used to think that previously, but I think that this system works. It should work perfectly for him. It works for Suarez. I mean, he can
They're
time
not the
his
same
runs.
player, though.
Definitely not. But I think that what they're asking Campana to do is what Campana should be able to do. Before it was we needed a striker that could create for himself, but now we have players that create for our strikers. We have players that could deliver the ball to our strikers. When we had Higuain, that was the criticism. We had nobody to get him the ball.
Right.
So obviously he's not the player for this team. Once we got Pozuelo, okay, we got somebody to get him the ball. He started playing well. Campana has people to get him the ball. So I don't know. I think that this system should fit him fine. It's just he's just not performing.
No, the reason why I'm saying this, when I look at Campana, I don't think he fits this this system that Tata. He doesn't fit it perfectly, and I don't think his skill set is what he looks for in a striker. He's very. I hope I'm not bashing on the kid. He seems very immobile as a striker. Like he seems like he's a final third striker where he's in the box looking for headers and stuff like that.
Right. With the back to the goal, I could see that. Yeah, but I think that works okay in this team when you have so many players that can deliver you the ball.
This is why I'm saying I think we're trying to get high. That's why I keep on reading reports. We're trying to get James Rodriguez.
No, but James doesn't play striker though.
Yeah,
and
he
I
doesn't
don't
play striker. No,
and I don't think James would fit on this team, honestly. At least not right now.
I don't think so either. The system doesn't.
No, Luka Modric.
Luka
and moving Messi up to striker, having Luka on the bottom of Messi and Suarez. Yeah.
So playing with like 2 up top, Suarez and Messi up top, and Luka behind them.
Yes.
He's more of a defensive mid though, right?
Well,
he comes up as center forward, just like James does, but
no, Luka Modric is a attacking midfielder.
He barely even plays anymore, honestly.
But he's known for being a defensive mid though.
And I don't know why that I agree with James. I don't understand this trash talking these Columbus fans are having when we beat them without Suarez, Campana, and Messi, and Busquets too. Busquets was missing those two. We missed half of our DPs, and we still beat Columbus those 2 games.
Now, I don't know if you remember that game, and again, I want Columbus at this point. I really do. But I don't know if you remember that game. There was a point where Cucho had a one-on-one with Drake, and Drake somehow stopped it. It was a one-on-one. Cucho usually and should finish that. That ends at least in a draw. I think that we overperform or we outperform what we should have that game. I don't know if we should have ended up with 3 points, but we did. And our team is a lot healthier now than we were back then. I would love to get that rematch.
Oh, and speaking of the award, have we already started talking about what the has it gotten close to the end of the season where we're going to be starting to talk about the end of season awards? And do you think Drake gets the goalie of the year in the MLS?
No, Drake doesn't get that this year.
You don't think so? Even though
Drake,
with how
Drake
he's been performing during the Leagues Cup and during the regular season, where he's been standing on his head most times?
No, I think
basically.
Drake has had an up and down year this year. Unfortunately, last year I thought that he was the best goalie in the league or close to it, top 3. This year, unfortunately, I don't think so. Even though I think he's played better recently.
Yeah, recently,
But,
yeah, I agree with that.
I don't think that he would be up for it. But yeah,
I would say Berkey from St. Louis, yeah, like Mitch and Mr.
Yeah.
Krabs on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, do you think the reason why we have Busquets at center back is because we don't trust any of the backups behind Ian Fry by chance?
Yeah, yes. I don't. I think that Christoph is losing the trust. Even though I would have put him in today, and we can get into that also in a little bit. But I don't think that they trust Christoph. Noah Allen, as much as I like him, we've said it. He has good spells at center back, but it's not that he's not ready. I think he's looked good, but his size, unfortunately, for center back, especially we saw it today, he's undersized, especially to defend those headers. I think it works against him.
That's why. Did you? And this is why there's other rumors saying we're attached to Ramos.
No, we're not
Sergio
getting
Ramos.
I would love it. I've said it a million
I don't
times. He's
think
my
so,
favorite
no.
soccer player all time. Him and Valderrama are my 2 favorite players of all time. But absolutely, I can't.
Do you think? Do you think he's a little bit past it? Like
No, him and Ronaldo are those guys that are gym rats and are in great shape. Has he lost a step? Probably.
No, that's
But
what I'm saying. That's what I mean. Not physically, but like physically, yes, losing a step, but mentally, he's still there. That's where he's ahead of everybody. The experience in the World Cup and La Liga helps him.
For sure. But supposedly, San Diego offered him was going to offer him 12 mil, and Inter Miami can't offer him 12 mil.
Is there any players that we can release on like to open up more DP, like more
Campana, but I mean, even Campana doesn't get paid not even 1/10 of 12 million.
Oh,
so,
apparently,
that's not happening.
and I keep on hearing we might send Campana to Real Sociedad.
That I haven't heard.
Yeah,
That I haven't heard.
Yeah, no, this is I'm getting this from Goal.com.
Okay.
And they're saying it's not a solidified rumor, but they're thinking of sending Campana to La Liga to play for Sociedad.
I think that would be great for him. I think it would be great for him and the team. I think he just needs a new scenery. And Anthony, we appreciate the call, man. I really
Thank you.
do appreciate you hanging out with us. I think Campana is the next guy to go. I don't know when that's going to be.
He's the odd man out. He's the odd man out.
Before we go to Mike, Italy, what did you think of Alba's game? He had 4 assists in this game. That is a Leagues Cup record. I don't know if it's a record for him. I don't know if he's ever had that in his career. But he had 4 assists in one game. What did you think of Jordi Alba's game?
Other than being a baby, he did fine. I mean,
why was he a baby? He
got
always stepped on.
Oh,
he got
shut up.
On.
Whatever. Other than being a baby, he's always been world class.
All right, so before we go to Mike, I do want to get into this now. Now that you brought it up, you guys got that second penalty kick.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Jordi Alba slid, didn't make contact, but he did place his leg where what player was it that drew it? That drew the penalty?
It was Prince, the one.
Prince, okay.
Fouled.
Where so he did place his leg where Prince was going to put his leg down. So if you want to go off of that technicality, then fine. He did impede him stepping to kick the ball. It's a penalty. But for you to say that he's a baby when he got stepped on, and I would have been okay if they didn't call a penalty because he literally didn't make contact.
No.
That's all you're going to give me? Nah. Okay.
I disagree because I still think he's a baby, but I still think he played a great game. Still think he's a world-class player, right?
Yeah.
But other than that, no.
But the penalty, you thought that he was being a baby with the penalty? He didn't even make contact.
It's a little bit of everything. It's just a little bit of everything. Italy's salty. No, I just think everyone's a baby at this point in this game.
All right. Yeah, here we go. Somebody just jumped off.
Both
Who jumped
sides.
off?
Both sides. Both sides. Us and you guys.
All right. So let me bring on Mike. What's going on, Mike?
Hey, evening, gentlemen. First time, long time, man. Good to
What's
be
going
here.
on?
Hey,
Appreciate you.
wild game. I definitely was not expecting this type of game. Thought it'd be a little easier. I thought maybe they'll still score a goal, but it was kind of strange how we just fell apart in the defense. I thought it was a good game to bring in Frey, especially going a man down. Losing
sure.
Martinez, losing Aviles, was a bit surprised that he didn't go with Frey. And also Cello getting a yellow card. So he was kind of, everything was looking shaky back there. So I was a bit
Well,
surprised. I don't know what you thought.
Well, you know what? And now that you bring up all those yellow cards, I'm surprised that Busquets didn't get at least a yellow for putting his hands on somebody.
For sure.
Yeah. I mean, there were a lot of mistakes. It was pretty sloppy in the back. So we did get lucky, but I mean, there were 3 penalties called. So, but we were a bit lucky to kind of scrape that out, but we still could have won by a few more goals. I mean, the attack could have been better, but it wasn't too bad. But yeah, the back was a bit scary.
And everybody's asking if this is Mike V on the phone. I don't know if Mike wants to reveal. No, it is not Mike V.
not Mike V.
And Football King's asking, Danny, where's Chris? Chris refuses to do the show with me because I am a Keanu Reeves disliker. I'm gonna say hater. I dislike him. I've never seen The Matrix, and he says that he's looking for another Inter Miami show. So if you guys host another Inter Miami show and you would like Chris to be a co-host, hit him up because he doesn't want to do this show anymore. Mike, I agree.
For a new co-host as well. So
yeah. What do you think, Mike, about Columbus? We're assuming it's going to be Columbus beating Kansas City. What do you think about Columbus now that we don't have David Martinez for that game? We're going to have Busquets probably at center back.
I think it shouldn't be too bad with Busquets in the back. I mean, he's been there a couple games already. He's shown that he can handle it. I think with Yannick Bright, I feel more comfortable, a little more at ease. But still, I don't know if hopefully Aviles comes back. So hopefully it's Boosie and Aviles. If not, it's definitely a game for Frey. So if it looks like that, I think I'm okay with it. I think we'll survive. But yeah, it's still going to be a tough one. I mean, even though we beat them last game at home, but it's still going to be a tough one. So yeah, we'll see how they come out.
And last question for you, Mike, because I'm asking you questions. How do you feel about Robert Taylor not seeing the pitch?
I was a bit surprised. With that setup up top. I really thought Taylor was going to start. It would have been a good game for him to kind of go on the one-on-one, his usual, the way he attacks. So it was a bit strange. I don't know. In the beginning, I kind of felt like this was almost a showcase for Diego Gomez, maybe like since he's going off to Brighton. I just kept seeing a lot of passes going to him. So I'm like, I wonder if this is maybe trying to put him on the right foot forward, maybe. I don't know. But, I mean, he still did well. So it wasn't I don't think it was a bad decision. But it was a bit strange to not see Robert Taylor. So maybe he's giving him a break. I'm not sure what his thought process on that was.
I think that just doesn't favor Robert Taylor for some reason. And I think it's unfortunate. Mike, last question before I get you out of here. Keanu Reeves, overrated or not?
I got to tell you, man, I like Keanu Reeves. I like Keanu Reeves since Bill and Ted and in The Matrix. He's awesome. So, yeah, if you haven't seen The Matrix, so you got to jump on that, catch all 3. And John Wick, man.
There's 3 of them?
John Wick. There you go. I love that, Mike. There you go.
All right.
Yeah, man.
All right, Mike. Appreciate you calling, man.
You have a good one, Mike.
Take it easy.
All right. Before I jump over to Jeff V. Jeff V, I see you. We'll be right with you. Italy, real quick.
All right, what's up?
The Matrix. Have you watched it?
Yeah, I watched Matrix, John Wick. I watched a little bit of Bill and Ted. I don't like it. I don't like that movie personally, but I'm a huge John Wick fan with Keanu in it.
And here I got Danny. Let's say Sporting KC somehow win. Do we have a fan to do a match preview? We do. We had at one point what's his name, Cavincio, but Cavinccio's gotten really big and doesn't respond to us anymore. So shout out to Cavincio, but he doesn't talk to us little people anymore. So, but we do have another KC guest if they were to go that we could hit up. So yes, we should have a preview. All right, Jeff V, what is going on, man?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
How's it
You're
going,
living the
man?
dream.
Well, that was quite the ride. It was a lot of fun. I don't know how I'm gonna go to sleep tonight. I'm perfectly fine with that. We got lots of other good games on tonight, but I don't think anything's gonna top what we just watched.
No, that was a really good game.
I'm a new fan of this club.
Okay, welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Everyone has been so welcoming. I love everything the club stands for and been following from the beginning, and just love to see the success that Miami's having right now. Just a couple points on the game.
Yeah, what's up?
I mean, I think most people probably agree that Miami probably should have scored 6 goals. Hey, you have that many opportunities, create that many chances. I really feel like if they get into a shootout with anybody, they're going to win. Except for that weird Cincinnati game, which we don't even have to talk about.
Yeah, that was weird.
I really think they can outscore anybody.
But you know what, Jeff? I think that, and correct me if I'm wrong, or somebody in the chat correct me if I'm wrong. And by the way, last time I held this up, everybody thought that it was a cart, like a vape. It's not. It's a walkie-talkie.
No, it looks like a walkie-talkie. It didn't look like a vape to me.
Well, before everybody thought it was a vape. So anyway, I just want to clarify that first. And second, in the chat, correct me if I'm wrong. Was that Cincinnati game the first and only time that we've had Busquets and Kristoff starting as center backs? Because I believe it was. And that was a failed experiment. We can never do that something like that. Jeff, do you remember if that's the only time we – oh, wait, you said you're new to this. You don't know.
I do not. But
okay.
I trust the chat will let us know for sure very soon.
Yeah. So, Jeff,
I got a question for Jeff V.
Go for it.
Jeff, so how long have you been watching soccer for?
I've been watching – really my whole life, but the way I'm watching now, probably for about 3 years.
3 years. So would you consider yourself a bandwagon fan for this team, or is it just?
Shut up, Billy. Shut up.
I'm just messing.
I'll tell you. So I actually live in Atlanta or outside of Atlanta.
Atlanta United, yeah.
So we're a pretty new club as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But I think what's great about soccer and football is that you can have teams from different leagues all over the world that you support, and I know obviously Atlanta and Miami are in the same conference. They're technically kind of rivals, even though it hasn't been much of a rivalry recently. But I got some family that's from Miami, and I've always supported. I guess you could say I'm a little bandwagon now, but I really feel
all good.
Like,
you're welcome.
There's a lot of bandwagons out there. I just want to see where you were at. I like your story, though. I like your story.
I want to see this league grow. I mean, I really see so much potential. I think Beckham, what he's done for this league, and is not stated enough. He obviously saw the potential in it from day one, and so that's one of the reasons I definitely find myself watching this team every time I can. And I was recommended this show from a couple of people, and y'all have been awesome. So
awesome. Thank you to whoever recommended him, and thank you, Jeff, for listening and
joining us.
I like
your story.
And I
appreciate it, Jeff. Go ahead.
It might be an unpopular opinion, but I thought Rojas' first goal better than his second goal because that touch that he had. I don't know if it was luck or skill, but that touch, and then to just one time it, Sean Johnson had zero chance of even touching that ball. And, they got a few things to work on defensively. Cello, sometimes I want to throw something at the TV, but then he makes that amazing cross to Gomez. I don't know how he didn't finish it. So, a lot of things to improve on, but they have the potential to be the best team in the league if they aren't already.
They do, and with the whole Griezmann rumors, if that were to come through, I think that would be a conversation that should be had. But right at the moment,
LAFC, that's what he's rumored hardcore with, though, right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so if he were to join them, I think that there's a conversation to be had about who's the best talent-wise on paper. But until that happens, I still think with the depth that Inter Miami has on paper, we're the best, I think. Well, Jeff, man, I appreciate you checking the show out and continuing to listen and jumping on today, man. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Have a great night.
All right, you too, my man. And from one Atlanta resident to, I believe, another, we're bringing on El Bigote. What's going on, man? How are you doing?
What's up, guys? First and foremost, go home, Toronto. Go home.
You can get off too.
You can get off too, Italy.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. You first. I knew this was going to happen. I knew you would show your voice one day.
Just for you, Italy. Just for you, my man.
I appreciate that. Nice to have fans. Nice to have fans.
What a dramatic game, first and foremost. My heart rate was fluctuating from like 60 to 150 on my Apple Watch the entire time.
Facts.
Martinez, yellow card, not a red card. And I'm going to stand by that entirely. Yellow card is what he deserved for that penalty, because to me, he barely touched him, and then the defender or the attacker in that situation caught his foot that he was coming in with, because it was the foot that he was winding up to strike, and he just so happened to catch it. So I don't think he deserved a red.
You don't think that Toronto would have scored in that opportunity? I mean, I know Drake is good sometimes on one-on-one stops. He showed us over the last couple of weeks that he can. But you don't think that there's a really good chance that they score if that foul doesn't happen?
No, absolutely not. He had two defenders crashing in on him with the goalie coming at him from the front. There's probably a 20% chance that he would have scored that goal.
Okay. No, I would say more 50-50 for me, because Prince sometimes can score those. Oh, shut up, L. He sometimes likes to pull it out of his butt too. So Prince, I would say so.
I don't know. I wasn't shocked. I wasn't shocked that it was a red, because what I thought was weird is that they switched it from yellow to red. I thought it should have been a red off rip, because I felt like it was a clear and obvious scoring opportunity that he impeded. At least I felt like he impeded that. So I thought that it was weird, just because, okay, it's no longer a penalty, so let's at least change it to a red. That's what I was like, it's kind of weird. But if they would have given him a red off rip, I would have understood it.
Yeah, I just couldn't see it with the physicality of the game just from the rip. I mean, Lareo for Toronto, he was instigating everything from the top of the field all the way to the end of the field. And then whenever Boosie put his hands on his neck, he found out real quick to not do that. But all of I would say the harder fouls, all of the jersey pulling that Toronto was doing whenever anybody would get away from them, I don't think a red card was deserved in that situation. A penalty, absolutely. Yellow card, yes. And then that's it.
And real quick, I just want to make sure I clarify this. Italy Jet is not Joey Jets.
No, absolutely not. No.
Joey Jets is quite the Jets troll on Twitter, and that is not Italy Jet.
Nope, absolutely not.
What did you think of Noah Allen coming in instead of Kristoff? Because I felt like Kristoff should have been the play there, because I think Kristoff's a very solid defender when he gets to be in position, when he's not having to track back defensively to defend the transition play.
I think it was a smarter decision to play Noah Allen only for the reason of pace. The height disadvantage that he had, obviously, up with Prince, it's significantly different. But the pace that Kristoff has is nothing that we would have needed to actually get us through the end of the match. So I think it was smart on Tata and going back to his masterclass that he had to put somebody with pace in there.
There's a comment here that I'd like to get your opinion on. Here, Tata is clearly playing favorites and not the best players. On no planet, 57 starts over Frey. Frey's way better. What do you think about Cello continuing to start over Frey? I personally think Frey is better than Cello.
Going back to the last time I called in, Cello is somebody that I think should be riding the bench, and Frey should be starting over him. It's 100%. He's shown more contribution both defensively and attacking in the two games that he played as of recently. And he just continues to do that every time he comes out onto the pitch.
Do you think there's any chance? And I don't know if it's Bigote or Italy. I hear myself as an echo.
You do. Yeah, it is. Yeah, you are.
All right. Do you think there's any chance that it's possibly them trying to take it easy with Frey before, like holding him off until the game starts to matter a little later on in the actual regular season? Or do you think he's just choosing Cello over Frey?
See, and I'm conflicted.
I think it's the latter. I think he's choosing. I've said I am a Tata defender usually on this show, right? Because everybody hates on Tata. I constantly give him credit. The one criticism I have is that I do think he has a South American bias.
I can see him doing that. It's not. It wouldn't be uncommon by any means in my account. But I think he's saving him. I think it's more of a risk adverse reaction that he's having with Frey versus him. Going back to the last conversation we had with, he's saving him to actually play with Messi. He went out whenever Messi came in, and he hasn't gotten to play with Messi yet. So maybe he's actually going to save him to play with Messi once Messi gets back, and that's just me being hopeful. But the favoritism, I would say, is probably a good factor into that. But I also don't see what he sees in Cello that Frey hasn't already provided in the actual 2 games that he's played.
You know what? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe he feels like he hasn't seen him enough. But I mean, he has to play him, right, to see him more. I don't know. I think it sucks because I do think Frey should be out there. And then Mr. Krabs is saying, in what way is Cello an upgrade over Yedlin? I do think Cello is better defensively than Yedlin was, and we were leaking defensively in the beginning of the season. But I think Frey does both better than Cello, so I would like to see Frey more.
Yeah, I agree. I think he should be saved for the right moment. I'm once again someone that just could care less about Leagues Cup, especially because we're going for the MLS Cup, maybe the Croqueta Plate. But I think saving somewhat of ourselves. If they want to win the Leagues Cup again, then we have every right to do it, and we have all the potential to do it.
Yeah. All right, man. I appreciate you as always, Bigote, for joining us and calling in, and we'll be talking in the Discord.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Bye.
Man. All right, Italy. How do you feel about Leagues Cup in general? Do you think this is something that people should be trying to win? Because obviously, I believe it's something that people should go for, especially when you have depth like Inter Miami. Some people feel like you should just rest your players. You're officially eliminated. Are you happy that your team's going to have a chance to rest for a couple weeks before they get the restart of the regular season, or would you have liked to go far in the tournament?
No, any tournament to fight for a trophy is important every year, whether it's something that not a lot of people like or something a lot of people like a lot. I mean, right now, since we're eliminated, we're going after the Canadian Championship now. So it's literally a turnaround into the next week. So we're immediately this is the second leg of the final as well for the Canadian Championship. So I say win a trophy at all costs, whatever it is. But for me, Leagues Cup is cool. I like playing against a bunch of different Mexican teams and a bunch of different MLS teams. But as far as right now, in my mindset, yes, I want to save my players now for the playoffs and save my players for the Canadian Championship moving forward right now as of today.
Well, I mean, that's the difference between a Canadian team and some American teams, right? Because you guys have that Canadian Championship. We pulled out of the U.S. Open Cup. So if we don't win the Leagues Cup, all we have left is the MLS Cup. You guys still have that Canadian Championship, which could give you a berth to the Champions Cup next year. So
correct. CONCACAF, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. So it's definitely different for you guys. And I hadn't considered that. Yeah. So you guys left this tournament, but you still got another tournament to play for. So you guys are still good. You guys still have games to be played that are important.
And not only that, it's up to Bernadeschi. It would really help still because we were struggling our first leg, and now going the second leg, I am a little bit worried now that Bernadeschi is out. But overall, we should win. Should win. We always. I know there's a comment here. Canadian Championship belongs to Vancouver Soccer Daddy Eve Football. we always have Canadians numbers. Either it's Vancouver or Montreal. I know last few years Vancouver has kind of had our number, but recently we've always got Montreal's number. So I'm not surprised we're in the championship, and I wouldn't be surprised if we win.
Well, I mean, if you guys have that path to the Champions Cup, I think that's definitely the route that you guys
love
should take.
CONCACAF Champions League. I love it.
All right. If you had to take a guess, talking into Miami only,
Gotcha.
who do you think had the highest rating of any player on the pitch?
Yeah, it's got to be Jordi Alba.
It is 4 assists. For sure.
It's got to be. He was all, as much as I like to make fun of him and stuff, or make fun of Inter Miami and even my own club. I like make fun of both clubs. Jordi Alba was all over the field. He was one of your most important players behind Suarez, and even your goalie made a lot of big saves, especially that long hit it from outside the box. That was a great save. It looked like it was curving, and then the PK with Insigne. But overall, Alba, Suarez, and then your goalie.
I think that obviously him. I thought Matias Rojas played pretty well. Matias Rojas. We said that Julian Gressel, we like him out at right wing better than we like him in the midfield. But this is the second game. This is the second game that Matias Rojas has played very well up top. And I think that he's going to end up staying there until Messi comes back. Now, what that means for Gressel, I mean, Gressel, I wouldn't say had a bad game. But again, he doesn't produce as much, obviously, when he's in that midfield position. So I don't know what exactly they're going to do. And I almost forgot. Thank you. One Roll One Goal is here asking your favorite moment of the match. She said hers was Suarez's cheeky chip goal with that beautiful. I mean, I think the pass was my favorite part, or the way he played the pass. Right, he let it bounce, and he kind of knew that the center back wouldn't get a leg on it, and waited for it to get to the other side of the defender, and then kind of chipped it over. That was a great. I would love to hear what the chat has to say. Italy, do you have a favorite moment of the match?
I mean, anything that Insigne was our best player. I mean, he was creating opportunities, couple assists, couple PKs. I mean, it was you had to shut him down, and you guys did. Anybody that we brought on wasn't gonna do it. Johnson a few saves, but it's kind of off game for him, off game for Lorea. But Insigne was definitely it.
What did you guys think of, or what did you think of Redondo? I don't know if you remember that play where it looked like he had a shot on goal, and then he tried to get technical with it and work his way around Sean Johnson. He faked the kick, pushed it off to his right, then faked it again, pushed it a little further to his right, and then he ended up hitting it off the post. Now, at this point, I'm in a.
Are you talking about when he missed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in a chat with a lot of MLS people, and immediately after that happens, they're like, "Ooh, the other guy sucks." Obviously, they don't watch very often, but I do think he should have gone first timer, just back of the net, or at least try to. And even if it gets blocked, I think he hesitated way too long. What did you think of that play?
Honestly, it just kind of goes to show that this game is just such an up and down game. I think overall he played well. Like, I think the whole game, I think he played well. But that during that time, man, you got to go for a first hand. And he just did. He tried to keep his composure, try to see if anybody would slide through. But no, we kept our composure with Long and the other defender behind us, and then Johnson tried to, but he should have nailed it first chance he got. He didn't need to do all this other steps.
Right. And that at that point, I don't remember if that was before or after you guys had scored your third. But I remember if that goal goes in, I would have thought that we put it away. This game was too close for comfort because I thought that we should have put this away a while ago. But all in all, as far as the players go, I don't think anybody had a very bad game. I don't know if you want to say David Martinez because he got the red card, but I don't think anybody had a really bad game. Wei Gan, I guess he had his moments, but I think out of everybody, I mean, it says here Wei Gan's the lowest graded, or David Martinez. I think Gressel maybe had the least amount of impact, but I mean, he was in the midfield like we always say, and he only played the first half. So I don't know.
No, I think it was a collective good win overall. It was just it's
Yeah.
an up and down game for anybody because it's you're going for the championship again. You're trying to go for that two-peat. So I think everyone did their job, but the only thing is closing out games, right? You let us get back with three goals, but just closing it out. Just like the same thing with Toronto. We can't close out games. As long as you continue to close everything out, you guys are going to be great down the line.
Yeah. And I saw somebody here put that their favorite moment, where was it? Oh, I can't find it. Oh, there it is. Anton's favorite moment was when Bright came on. I share in that sentiment. I really like that Bright got to play half the game. I think every time he hits the pitch, he looks really good. And it's like he's a presence in the midfield. Like you don't feel, as an opposing team, comfortable passing the ball around in the midfield because he's just there lurking. He's like a free safety. It's a beautiful thing to watch. I really like it. And the fact that we were 10 men for how long? For over an hour, right? Over 60 minutes. And we still managed to pull that off. I think this is a testament to the depth of Inter Miami. And honestly, as an Inter Miami fan, I feel really confident moving forward in this tournament. Whether it be Columbus or whoever it may be, it's either Columbus or KC next. And after that, it's probably Tigres or Pachuca.
Mm-hmm.
And
I would say Tigres for me.
Probably. And the way we played them on Saturday, I honestly think that we have a chance to win that game. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. Maybe I'm getting a little overconfident. But I think that Inter Miami has a real chance to make it to at least the semifinals right now. And, and once we get to the semifinals, there's a possibility that there's a pink goat that might make his way onto the pitch again. So we'll wait and see, since he's not wearing that walking boot anymore. All right. I think I think that's about it. Solana didn't make it back on time to jump on. So Italy, do you have any final thoughts? Oh, and quick, anybody in the chat know when Inter Miami will play next? I'm not sure if it's Monday or Tuesday. Maybe somebody in the chat knows. I know that tomorrow is when Columbus plays against KC, I believe, and also Pachuca plays against Tigres. Any final thoughts, Italy?
It was an up and down game. The whole game. I'm still proud of my team for finding its way back because we don't do that very much. Just get back to Canadian Championship next week. I still feel like we will still make the playoffs because it's super tied in our Eastern Conference right now. But we got to get one more person at least in here to help with the defense. I wouldn't mind another midfielder. We just need that true number 9 still. But I think overall, I mean, Inter Miami, it's always a high scoring game for you guys. And I'm really happy that it was a good game out today because it could have been 6-1 or at least 6-2. So overall, like I said, disappointed, but you guys are going to the next round. And yeah.
And One World, One Goal is asking, where's your family from, Italy?
My family is from Sicily and Palermo, and then I got some family in Milano.
Okay, there you go. All right, and I think that's it. A lot of people are saying Monday would be the game. So that gives us already an advantage because, damn, would it be Monday? Does Columbus play today? I think they play tomorrow because then they would only have 2 days off between games, which is kind of wild to me. Columbus, hold on, let me check this out because it's tomorrow. So if the game is on Monday, that means that Columbus would have Saturday and Sunday off, and then they would play again on Monday, which is an advantage for us, obviously. But so be it. So hopefully, and then Tigres and Pachuca is tied 0-0 from what Upcode said in the 62nd minute. So, hey, much like everybody in the chat earlier, I'm pushing for Pachuca because if Tigres somehow doesn't make it to the quarterfinals and we do, I think we can beat any MLS team and a lot of Mexican teams. I think this team is deep enough, and with Messi showing up possibly for the semifinal and final, this team could go ahead and repeat, and that would be fun to watch. All right, Italy, we really appreciate you jumping on and joining us. Let everybody know where they can find you and talk shit to you.
And I have a feeling I'm gonna get a lot of that in the next coming days. Facebook, Instagram, and X. Do a lot of stuff here on the Batter Network. I do a bunch of the podcasts with other sports outside of the Batter Network. But yeah, follow me, Italy Jet. Appreciate you.
All right, and Chris is actually, it's funny because I Chris, even though he refuses to do the show with me anymore, I saw him on here talking crap about Keanu Reeves. I lost a comment, but he was on here for a second, reminding people to like the video. So go ahead, like the video if you haven't already. And there it is. Keanu Reeves for life. This guy's a loser. All right. Anyway, if you are listening on audio, we appreciate you listening all the way to the end. Please do Fox.com, review, all that good stuff. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching all the way to the end. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends. And for those of you in the chat, as always, we appreciate you hanging out with us for the last hour. Morpheus, I'm sorry, we're about to log off. We had a Morpheus calling in. Could that have been Chris? I guess we'll never know. I have a feeling it might have been Chris calling in as Morpheus. But regardless, we'll be back. We'll see if we can get a preview show in before Monday. That I can't promise you, but we'll try. They're only giving us 2 days to do it. So we'll see if it happens. And Chris probably won't be here for that. So F Chris, and I hope you guys enjoyed the show. And that's about it. So until the next one, have a good one.
Ciao.